Good morning and welcome back to the Disneyland Resort. Today is January 10th and Christmas has officially come to an end here at the Disneyland Resort, which is good because crowds are going to be significantly lower. However, the park hours have been restricted down to 10 p.m. in result of lower crowds, which is okay. At least the lines for the rides won't be as bad, so let's get rolling. Just walking into the park now. I don't know if it had to do with the time I arrived, but the tram situation was horrible. It took about 30 minutes to even reach the theme park from the parking lot, but I guess that's not too bad. We've definitely had worse days, but they're definitely operating less trams than usual today, just because it isn't as busy, so they don't need to have that many trams running. However, it did hinder how long it took to get into the park, and I think it would have been significantly quicker for me to just walk here. We just walked into the park though, and the Christmas decorations are almost completely gone down in Main Street. You can see that Christmas tree is finally down. It was up yesterday, but today, January 10th, it is down. The garlands, for the most part, are gone. There are some still remaining around Main Street. You could see over here by the Emporium on the right side, there are some standing, but these won't last for much long. Right now, everyone's moving to the sidewalk because the Disneyland band is coming in, which is a nice grand entrance to enter Disneyland. All right, what a nice way to enter Disneyland with passing by the Disneyland Marching Band. Now walking towards the castle, you can see that there are still some Christmas decorations remaining. Again, it's not gonna take them too long to take these down. Usually it takes them about a week, and then another maybe a few days after the first week of Christmas being done to take down the snow on the castle. It's kind of crazy to me that they add the snow on the castle in October, and then they take it off maybe within a few days, maybe a few weeks before or after Christmas ends. But they can get this up pretty quick. I don't know why they put up the Christmas castle in October. Currently, Astro Orbiter is under construction or under refurbishment, and it seems like it's going to be pretty extensive. Hello. But this is such a weird sight, seeing Tomorrowland with no Astro Orbiter in the front. This is so crazy. Now, as we approach the castle, you can see there's no more Disney 100 decorations on top of the castle. And that's because the 100-year anniversary is coming to an end, which means Wondrous Journey will only be around for 2 weeks this year. And I hope they bring it back at some point because that's truly one of the best shows they've ever had at Disneyland, in my opinion. But one thing I really hope they keep are these water fountains on the right and left side of the castle. I feel like it adds so much to the ambiance. Over here at the front of Frontierland, there are quite a few decorations remaining, actually almost left untouched around the entire Pioneer Mercantile and some of the other shops at Frontierland. These will probably all come down within the next day or two. Oh, this is such a neat photo op. In front of the Golden Horseshoe, Miguelito from Coco is doing a few meet and greets. I feel like this is one of the scariest looking characters in the park though. He just looks so, I don't know, maybe it's his eyes or something. It's just a really creepy look. Speaking of Coco and I suppose newer Disney movies, Fantasmic is making a return in May, and I really hope with the new iteration of Fantasmic they add more newer Disney movies implemented into the show. In Fantasmic Disney World edition, they added scenes from like Moana and Frozen, so I really hope they implement those newer, or include, not implement, but yeah, I guess implement and include those newer Disney movies, because a lot more of Disney's audience is coming to Disney to see those characters. So it'd be really cool to see those characters included in the new version of Fantasmic. We're just so close to Fantasmic starting once again here at Disneyland, and I just really hope they don't do that dining package thing like before. I feel like that affected a lot of emotions from the guests. The park is already so busy, and everyone wants to have an easy time to just walk up and watch a show, but the whole dining package deal definitely screwed things up. First of all, you can't just walk up and sit here. You would need a dining package to walk up and sit here, which means you would have to essentially wait 2 or 3 hours in advance to get a spot either above the Pirate Bridge or around this front area of New Orleans Square. Right now, here's the current situation with Pirates of the Caribbean. Wow, 40 minutes, a lot of people waiting in line. It is a pretty busy day here at the park. Haunted Mansion holiday is still around for another week and a half or so, but right now they have already started work on the new extended queue for the Haunted Mansion. By the way, we're not going to be able to see the original Haunted Mansion for a good year from now, because once the Haunted Mansion reopens from its refurbishment, which is going to last about 7 months, it'll reopen in August. Once it's done with its refurbishment, it'll be back to its holiday version for another 6 months. And so we won't see regular Haunted Mansion until next year, February. So it's going to be a while until we see the regular Haunted Mansion. But right now there's a very odd queuing system to get into the mansion. They set up some temporary rope and some tape on the ground, and it looks very unorganized right now just because they are starting construction on that new extended queue. It definitely affects the crowds and the walking area in this area. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people walking in and out of this area, and the queue definitely makes this area a little smaller. You could see that that extended queue in the back is all closed off. Honestly, I like the way things were back then. I feel like there wasn't much change needed, but there is also already some scaffolding being put up, so we're probably going to see some things go vertical very soon. I'll keep an eye out on this for you guys, but yeah, this is such a strange layout for the queue. The Mark Twain is also receiving a pretty lengthy refurbishment. No like visible changes. I honestly don't know what they're doing with the Mark Twain. It's been closed throughout the Christmas season, so we didn't get to see or board the Mark Twain at all. Here's a look at Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and we actually have a lot more work since the last time we were here. You could see that Tiana's Foods little water tower has been added to the construction site. They went vertical with this very, very quickly. We were only here 3 days ago looking at Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and this wasn't here. So they're working really quickly now. I'm assuming they're going to try to get this done by the end of this year. They did say it's going to be opening in 2024. Not sure how quick Disney is with their construction process, but looking at theme parks like Six Flags or Universal Studios, they can usually get rides done within 2 to 3 years. They closed this ride almost a little less than a year ago. They closed it last May, and now they've been working pretty hard on the exterior. We can see they're doing some rock work on the top, and there's a lot of active work going on outside, as there's a bunch of construction workers right now working hard on this entire attraction. Very excited to see what it looks like in its final look, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And then there's a little bit of purple that's been exposed for a while now, and I wonder what this is for. This actually might be, this actually might not be theming. It looks like, as we zoom onto it, some construction material, maybe some type of plywood or insulation. However, over on the Florida counterpart, they're way ahead of us. They have a lot of plant work, a lot of greenery added to the mountain as well. I honestly don't like the look, and I really hope they make ours look a little nicer than just adding a bunch of leaves everywhere. Maybe it'll look nice at night, but I hate what they did with the area. But what I also want to see is that tree on the top of the mountain. I really hope they implement that tree or add a tree stump again. That tree was the original plan with the mountain, but they cut it and they just replaced it with leaves. I don't really like that. Also, you may be wondering, how does this make sense? There are no mountains in New Orleans, so how does this attraction make sense? They said that this will be a salt mine instead of a mountain. And then looking down up here, they are very, very active. Looks like they've been gutting out most of these old walls. You can see the inside of the mountain is exposed, and I'm very shocked with how it looks like inside of this mountain. I honestly didn't think it was going to be hollow inside, but yeah, it's a crazy look. And then the entire track is all boarded up. I don't think they're going to be changing anything with the track itself. But it's so cool that we get to see this water tower at Disneyland's counterpart now. We're in a rough spot with the sun right now, but here's a closer look at that water tower, which there's already been a lot of detail added to that. You could see a lot of moss on the bottom half. I don't know if that's natural or just added, but they already themed this. I'm sure they're just moving things in from off-site. They probably prepare this in advance and then bring it on-site. That's not what Universal does. Usually they prepare everything on-site. Maybe they'll be shipped in different parts and then assembled right in front of guest view, but they never usually have theming details this early on into the construction process. You can see there is some more rock work going on over here. This is obviously the base for the entire water tower. I'm sure it's filled in with a lot of concrete and stuff like that. But you can see this is very active. There's some smoke around. They're probably doing some welding right now, and yeah. This is also going to be probably our last time seeing the Briar Patch around. It's still open as of right now, but they do have some Briar Patch theming and Splash Mountain theming. They did remove like the big carrots. They used to have carrots around this mountain. They removed those, and the sign is still remaining, so get a nice look before they remove it. It's kind of sad. And then towards the entrance of the attraction, they have some scaffolding put up already, and they're probably going to just be repainting the exterior. I'm not sure what else they could do with this. I'm not sure if this has always been like this, but this one piece of wood seems like it was scrapped, so they scraped off the original paint. They might be adding some of the new paint. I don't know exactly what they would do with this wood. Would they paint it? Would they stain it? So the question is up in the air, but you can see they have been scraping off some of that original wood, unless that's just natural weathering. This one's going to be a rough update to catch right now just because of how the sun is positioned, but you can see they're still very active around these edges of the mountain, and there's actually a new structure that was constructed at this far end. I'm not sure how it's going to be themed. I'm assuming it'll match this look over here, this very vintage, oaky, warm look. I'm sure they're going to replicate that and add like a roof over there. And this is actually where the main drop is located. The first little drop you go down, this is where you end up before going inside of the attraction. You can see a lot of exposed mountain over there as well. We'll probably see more work on this in a month or so. I don't think they're going to be touching this for a second. I wonder if their priority was to get the interior done before the exterior. Who knows? Maybe the entire interior of the attraction is all done. Who knows? Also, tracking back to what Disney announced almost a year ago from today, they announced that an avatar experience is going to be coming to the Disneyland Resort. Not sure how they could implement this into the theme parks. Maybe they could remove the entire Grizzly Peak area and turn that into a Pandora-like land, or they could replace Tom Sawyer's Island. As much as it does suck, they could add more bioluminescence, they could add more nighttime atmosphere around Tom Sawyer's Island. Usually it's closed at night due to some of the shows, so I don't know how that would work. But if they were to put it on Tom Sawyer's Island, they would probably also have to close the land early and maybe reopen it later in the night. I'm not sure what they could do. But I could definitely see them putting some form of like indoor experience over here. Tom Sawyer's Island is huge. For a little while, this half of the entrance to Galaxy's Edge was closed off because they were constructing something. And I just noticed that they reopened it and they added a little service dog pee poop spot. I feel like there aren't many of these inside of the theme park, and this is a really neat place to put it. It's kind of strange. Just walked over to Rise of the Resistance just to take a look at what the wait time is looking like. 65 minutes posted, which isn't horrible. Usually what I do at this wait time is I subtract 20 minutes because it's 65 minutes to reach the ride vehicle, but the entire experience is about 20-30 minutes long, so I cut 20 minutes off the wait time. By the time you reach that first pre-show, it's about 45 minutes, so the real wait time would be 45 minutes, not 65. So with Disney basically owning Star Wars at this point, I feel like they should introduce merchandise that looks a little better than this. I don't know, it's all right, but like, who's gonna buy any? I mean, this I could understand if they're trying to cosplay, but I don't know. I feel like the merchandise offering is pretty weak. Universal does a pretty good job with their Harry Potter merchandise. I think Disney really needs to overlook their Star Wars merchandise and offer better looking merch, because this is a little sad. I suppose this is kind of cool. I like this, but I don't know what's going on here. It's a little strange. The patch is all right, but I don't know. Something feels off. I feel like the way they should look at their merchandise is turning it from things you could wear in the theme park to basically things you can wear anywhere. Everyday wear is gonna sell a lot more than just things you could wear to a theme park. All right, took a second to find a spot to eat. There aren't many seating options around Galaxy's Edge. There actually aren't any chairs with this table here, which is fine, I guess. You just have to bend down a little. But I got a Ronto Wrap. I haven't had a Ronto Wrap in about a year or so. So I wanted to see how the quality is, if it has changed or hasn't changed. I never get it with coleslaw. I hate the coleslaw they put in there. I don't know why they put it in there. Who even likes coleslaw? Also, it's slightly burnt. I don't know if you can see this, but the entire back half of the wiener is just burnt. The pita bread is a little burnt, but that's fine. All right, let's dig in. It's not bad. It tastes very similar, but a little burnt and a little dry. But it's not bad. It tastes good. Oh wow. Boba Fett is out. That's so cool. But I think that will wrap up today's visit here at the Disneyland Resort. We had a lot of fun checking out all the updates in the theme park. I will keep you guys updated if I see anything else. But I'm JP, and how they say in the movies, that's a wrap. I'll see you guys in the next one.